one, detached from outcome. That is, self-actualizing people, said Maslow, do not do what they do because of what benefit will come to them. They do what they do because their heart tells them this is who you are. And it doesn't make any difference whether you make money at it, whether you get approval or don't get approval, whether it is something that fits in with society. It doesn't make any difference. And you don't do what you're going to do because of how you're going to look or whether or not you're going to be approved or not approved. You do what you do because this is who you are. I gave a talk last Saturday in Maui at the Maui Writers Conference, and I just said to them, writing is not something that I do. I don't write to sell books. I don't write to make money. I don't write to be on the bestseller list. I don't write for good reviews. I write because writing is what I am. And if I didn't write, I think I would die. I think I'd wither away if I couldn't express it. The whole month of October, I spent studying in order to prepare to give a talk for 14 hours on all new material, some of which I'll share tonight, that inside of me says, you know, you're 70 years old. You know that you have to exercise your body. You know you have to walk every day, and you have to swim every day, and you do yoga every day, and you climb up to the 12th floor and back 3 or 4 times to get your heart rate up. You know that you have to keep yourself in shape. You know that what not to eat. You know what to do for your body. You can't just let your mind deteriorate. You can't let yourself, people ask me about retiring. I don't get the concept. Retire from what? To what? Retire from being? I'm not a human doing. I'm a human being. It's like, this is my beingness. Being up here, talking and having people come, for some reason, you come. And I got the mic. And it isn't just, it's not an ego trip. It's not an ego trip at all. It's staying sharp. It's keeping your mind sharp. It's staying on top of who you are. And not because of anything else. And you just do that. You get to that place where, I have a radio show every Monday on hayhouseradio.com, and I take calls from people all over the world every Monday. And that's one of my favorite hours of the week. But almost every question that comes in is about people who don't listen to their inner callings. Here's Carl Jung, one of the greatest minds ever. From the beginning, he said, I had a sense of destiny, as though my life was assigned to me by fate and had to be fulfilled. This gave me an inner security, and though I could never prove it to myself, it proved itself to me. I did not have this certainty. It had me. When Liz introduced me, she called me the father of motivation. And I'm already the father of enough, I promise you. I don't need to be the father of anything more, but I got that label thrown at me 20 years ago or so. And motivation is like, it's like a motivated person is someone who gets a hold of an idea and they won't let anything interfere with them accomplishing what it is that they set out to do. That's a motivated person. I'm not a motivated person, and I don't really believe much in motivation because that's all ego. I'm going to do it, and nobody's going to stop me, and I have an idea of what I want to do, and it's me doing that. I prefer to be called the father of inspiration. If motivation is you getting a hold of an idea and taking it to where it wants to go without anybody interfering, inspiration is the opposite. It's when an idea gets a hold of you, and it takes you where you were intended to go when you came into this world from the field of intention. And that's almost like radical humility is what you need for that. But this is what my friend Carlos Castaneda said. He said, in the universe, there is an unmeasurable, indescribable force which those who live of the source call intention. And that absolutely everything that exists in the entire cosmos is attached to intent by a connecting link. Sorcerers, that is, those who live of the source, are not only concerned with understanding and explaining that connecting link, but they are especially concerned with cleansing it of the numbing effects brought about by the concerns of living at ordinary levels of consciousness. In other words, we have a connection to this field of intention. This field of intention is that which everything is intended from. It is the source of all. And every single one of us is connected to it, except that the connection gets rusty. When you get to this place where you understand that intention is not something that you do, that is an ego stance. Intention is something that you are a part of. It is a field of energy from which all things are intended, to which all things return. And you can't ever be disconnected from it, but you can believe that you are. And in the process of believing that you are, you move away from your source. And in the process of moving away from your source, you detach yourself from who you really are. And instead, you begin to try to do it for other people, and you start doing things because of what may come to you instead of what intention offered you. Does that make sense? And you can do this, and you can cleanse yourself of this. And when you get to that place where you can cleanse yourself of the numbing effects they brought about because you've chosen to live at an ordinary level of consciousness, when in fact, every single person in this room is a piece of God. All of you.